Oh,
I'm gonna wave really hard.
Wave harder.
Ahoy, good people!
I can't wave any harder.
So what are we doing today?
Same thing we do every day.
What aren't we doing today? Trying to take over the world.
Ready to take over the ship.
I was muted,
Hey.
sorry.
Devlin's here!
Oh, sorry. Try to have somebody competent take over the ship.
Much better. Wait a minute.
Just wait, made it worse.
Probably we can talk about that sort of thing, but on nights when we've got Devlin in here, we should probably not do that.
We probably shouldn't do that, but we're going to do it anyway. We know us.
We just shouldn't do it as loudly.
Or as
Just
being-
Hear
whisper
us.
between Zoom screens. He won't
Right.
know.
Right.
Send messages.
Just put your thumb over his face and he can't see anything you're doing.
Oh, good
It's like, you
idea.
can't see me.
Yep.
You can't see me. If I can't see you, you can't see me.
Or I could just mute. I have the powers.
You do have the powers, Dakkar.
And that
Have
way,
the
when he
powers.
yells at us, we just see him blowing a gasket.
Right.
So watching
Oh,
it. Oh, you think he's going to have a stroke this time?
Quietly fuming.
Look, it's an aneurysm.
Well,
Right,
mates,
aneurysm.
welcome to Monday Night Sunset Rummin. It's the start of another bleeding week, and here we are
It is.
again to make that a better prospect for you.
Well, you know what they say about Mondays? You need to drink up.
Yes, quite.
I prefer to drink down, but we'll try it your way this time.
Ahoy, chappy. Good to see you, mate.
Ahoy, mate.
Ahoy.
For dropping by for our cupcake contest on Friday night. It was good to see you.
I'm expecting mine in the
cupcake?
Not
mail.
Friday night, the other one. Saturday night,
Sorry.
whatever night that was. There was
It was
cooking.
one of the days of the week.
It was dark. There was a day before it. There was a day after it. It's a thing.
I'm
Well,
relatively
you know,
at the
because
end
of COVID, there are only 3 days. There's yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And that's it.
I'm relatively sure by the end of it, Kat wasn't sure which of those 3 days it was.
I'm relatively sure
I think that.
that you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you tried to say that your cupcakes were as good as mine.
Better.
Clearly.
Remember, there are children watching.
They're better. Perhaps when I'm finished with my evening meal, I'll have to eat some more. There are so many cupcakes. there are so many cupcakes.
What
giving me-
flavor cupcakes were they?
I made chocolate chip peanut butter frosted with chocolate ganache and sprinkled peanuts on top.
That sounds a lot better than the normal hardtack we have.
It is way better than hardtack. I will definitively say in every circumstance it's better than hardtack.
Don't worry. They're going to
think
sit
most
out for a
things
year.
are.
They'll be fine.
And how many weevils were in them?
None, but they had chocolate chips in place of the weevils.
Ooh, so you can pretend like I've got chocolate flavored weevils.
Aye, we threw the chocolate chips at the weevils to distract them. And that way we were able to get the cupcakes done first.
Aye. That's clever. That's a clever thing to do. That's definitely a clever thing to do.
Mercy, I left some of the icing in the galley, so start spreading on the hardtack. Maybe they'll start eating it more.
Or
All right.
yeah, just put it on there so we eat it and the weevils can have at whatever's left.
I saw what they were doing. There's a little of the frosting on the floor, a little on the ceiling, a little.
Yeah.
That
Oi,
is also not wrong.
we talked about this. I take full responsibility and say it was Nessa's fault. Since she ain't here to disagree, I
Not
think.
here to say otherwise.
Aye.
Well, while I was having my cupcake cooking with the crew fest on Saturday evening, more to come, mates. More
Nice,
exciting things.
by
We'll
the
talk
way,
about it a
nice
bit later.
alliteration.
We had a guest show up to keep me in line. Who
That
might
guest-
that be? Why, of course, it be our very captain, Devlin O'Driscoll, showed up at the door to the galley, you know, with a
Slumping.
sack full of all kinds of other ingredients to make competing cupcakes.
So Captain, were you exploring parts of the ship you've never been to before?
Hi, apparently there's places you lot do work. And then there's the sections you live in.
Yeah, well, that you don't ever want to go there.
No. It ain't gotten that bad yet.
So, Devlin, what kind of cupcakes did you make? I tried to leave it open for you, but you didn't run with it.
Sorry, I was still drinking.
Who never stopped?
I'm still drinking.
I'm eating my evening meal, but it turns out freezer empanadas that what have been in the freezer for quite too long kind of taste like plastic on the outside. And the inside is not so bad, but the outside ain't good. So
You don't eat those parts.
You scoop out the insides.
I find that when I'm testing the rum, I have to go through the first few layers of the rum to get down deep where, the real testing takes place.
you've heard that.
Yes. And make sure that all of the rum is good, because at every single level, it must be tested, because you don't want, when you have rum, you want to make sure all those levels are taken care of.
Right.
Appreciate your sacrifice first, Redlegs.
I'm a giver. I'm a people pleaser.
Give and you give and you give.
That's what I do.
Which
I
people?
just give.
Anyway,
What did you make, Captain?
I made Ferrero Rocher cupcakes. With the
I'm sorry. Say that in English.
I described mine better. Do it better.
It's those little hazelnut candies in a chocolate cupcake with a chocolate icing and Nutella.
No, you can tell us.
Secret weapon. The secret weapon was absolutely the Nutella, because
No, you can tell us.
No, tell us.
No, go ahead, please tell us.
Tell you, I was using the hazelnut spread,
Oh, okay.
which is only legal in 58 countries.
And the reason why is because his icing blew my icing out of the water by a lot.
And then my cupcakes blew yours out of the water as well.
They blew something. Just saying.
There are phrases that could be said here
Amazing.
that would not even be, using bad words, but still, words could be
They blew
used.
it.
That wouldn't be.
They blew it.
Yes. That could be said. I just wanted to say that.
I'm giving all the credit where credit is due, and that frosting was maybe some of the best frosting I ever had.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had cupcakes too, because when you can't say something nice, you don't say anything at all.
I do question. I'm questioning the validity of their ganache recipe.
Well, yeah, it's not really ganache. I will be honest about that. It is, hey, here are some chocolate chips, and put in a tablespoon of water and melt it.
Yeah.
So by the time they sat in the ice box overnight, it was just a hard candy coating. I waited for it to melt again before I had some more.
Hey, that doesn't sound complicated enough for something with a French name.
I mean, I was able to do it for mine, but yours had no melting in the Ferrero Rochers, so.
Well, they weren't meant. The Ferrero Rochers were supposed to stay unmelted. Apparently, everything else melted, but those stayed fine.
And they were buoyant.
Yes.
And they all lived happily ever after.
My
Good
fridge.
night, everyone.
Well, this has definitely been one of our shorter meets.
I'll live happily ever after in my fridge until I eat them all and become giant cat. It's like superpowers where you eat or you put on a ring and you become enormous.
I thought that was called marriage.
You become enormous when you get married.
Apparently.
Yes. Hey.
That's called what's when you're fat and happy, which is a nice thing, I think.
Ain't marriage.
That ain't marriage. Bloody hell. Well, when I eat, I'm happy. So, it works for me. I'm happy with these cupcakes. There's just so many of them, and they're all really filling. And I think they're going to go at Weevils before I finish them all, because they're dense.
I've been called worse.
And will again.
I've been called cupcake.
No doubt, by people who like me.
We like you.
That's what I mean.
Well, let's not
Okay.
get ahead of ourselves.
Well,
What'd you say, Cupcake?
that's someone's new nickname. It ain't gonna be mine. That could be
CC.
Catcakes, maybe.
We'll be calling you CC.
Wait, Catcakes. Oh. Yeah, this is really scary. It tastes like plastic and spray paint. I think it's fake food.
Doesn't
Meanwhile,
sound edible.
With
Devlin had to use sour cream in his, so I'm using it up with my dinner. That tastes better than the rest of it so far.
Yes. Sour cream does work as a substitute for buttermilk, but it takes a bit longer to make than just splash into the recipe. Who knew?
It maybe didn't go so well with the buttermilk replacement. But I like sour cream, so
Whenever we have sour cream, that's my excuse to make nachos. Can't let the sour cream go bad.
It seems a good excuse as any.
Yeah.
right. The minute that sour cream goes green, it's a tragedy.
I won't stop you.
It's just sourer. Sourer.
Ugh.
There are certain products that it's like, how do you know when it's gone over? It's like blue cheese.
I'm just wondering, with all this talk of baking and cupcakes and sour cream and nachos and all of that, I've been thinking, what do other pirates think about us?
They want a dinner invitation.
I would think so.
We only come here to hear us talk about ice cream because pirates love ice cream. So when we get
True.
back around to it, then they think we're great. Now
And
they're
of
not.
course, we like pie. It's in the name.
Aye.
Pirates, yeah.
Well,
We have a right to pie.
Breaks to pie.
We have a pie right.
That sounds point to me. Now, I believe I can say safely that far and wide across the ocean, it's well known that there ain't no party like a Fortune's Folly party, because a Fortune's Folly party got desserts.
True.
We're learning that as I keep doing crafting with the crew streams on Saturday
Yes.
nights, right? Well, now that it's been 10 minutes, I'll push on with the rest of our Saturday night plan for about the next 4 weeks. So
Tell us
this
what we're
week,
doing.
We've got the fabulous Mercy Grimm coming back on stream, and she's going to teach us all to do another one of her paintings. So we're doing crafting with the crew, 7 to 9 on Saturday. Followed by yours truly back for some more cooking with the crew, hopefully with Devlin, as we're the two officially Irish pirates. I mean, Billy as well, but he's got his own thing going on usually. But we're going to make some Irish soda bread in honor of St. Patrick's Day. And I say we, so it'll at least be me, and hopefully Devlin, we'll see. Following that, Coral wants to do a thing on the 20th of March, so we'll find out what happens when our mermaid takes over the stream to do probably a bit of crafting. I think we're crafting cooking kind of deal right now, which is great. And then the official debut of the officially logoed Shop Talk with Dakkar. And Dakkar, why don't you talk to us a little bit about what you'll be doing?
We're going to do some sewing.
So what?
Hey, me too. Oh,
You're going to finish your buttonholes finally?
well, I was
Raisin,
thinking about
raisin.
it, but I got these two. I got some bending, and I've got my waistcoat. I'm a little bit bummed. I'm interrupting as well. I'm a little bit bummed because I did order that buttonhole thread, and it turns out it's just really strong, regular thread. This is not what it looked like in the picture, but this is also why I said I go to the shop in order to buy my notions usually. So I'm going to use this and try to put some of the waistcoat together later when I'm done eating.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You want
continue.
something more in like a quarter
We're gonna do
millimeter.
some sewing.
You've gone through the quartermaster. I think the merchant done took you.
Yeah. It also
Well, if
looks
you're
very
doing some
shiny.
sewing, what are you making?
We're going to make a haversack.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Everyone could use more stack. We're just coming back around to the sack part.
Yeah, we're going to do a little canvas sewing. We're going to make a haversack.
Nice.
Make-
And much like with Mercy, and we'll get her stuff up early next week or later this week, I think, more likely, because she has it going on this weekend. Never mind.
Yeah, it'll be Saturday. I'll have it up for
Like
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Something with all
I'm
of
gonna
this.
I'll put it
post-
together tonight.
I'll post a list of supplies, but just like Mercy and her paint supplies, we'll make sure that you know what you need to join us to make your own haversack.
If you want to follow
for the
along,
course.
we can do that. It'll be easy. It's super easy. Could not be easier. Could be easier. Won't be. It won't be hard. It'll be fun.
Then have a thing.
You know what's really easy is doing nothing.
Yes, and
That's-
then where will you carry your
that's
food?
easy.
You will be sackless.
I've heard rumors.
They prefer the term unsullied.
Zing.
Once again, phrasing.
I don't know what else we're gonna do while we sew. We'll tell history stories and sew. It'll be great.
Right, you
Nice.
threatened us with stories as we were wrapping up your last shop talk.
Did I? What story did I threaten to tell? It was
No, just in general. You said
Oh.
you'd tell us some stories.
okay. I will.
Once upon a time,
I wish.
Oh, and speaking of stories, I believe young Redlegs here is going to be releasing one of his official episodes of Redlegs Drinks this month.
absolutely. And it's from a wonderful place, which, by the way, for this mulled wine, that's where we got the wine from.
Is
from
it
a place
now?
called Amathea.
God bless
Which,
you.
if you're wondering about where the name Amalthea comes from,
Gesundheit.
thank you. I believe it's the name of one of the moons that circles Jupiter.
Neat.
That's a
And it's
long-
also probably some sort of a Greek, the Greek mythos, or Zeus or Hera or Jupiter or
Something.
Saturn or whatever there are. But
One of
yes.
those.
Uh-huh. Oh, and in April, I'm gonna do one of those piratey things. One of those history things, which is obviously going to be a drunk history.
We'd expect no less here, Redlegs.
Exactly.
Should be.
I mean,
Right.
unfortunately, that brilliant storytelling is no longer happening on the channels of comedy.
Not. I saw that myself. I think that's massively tragic.
I happen to
silence,
agree.
mate. Moment of silence. Okay, that's enough.
How about we drink to it?
Oh,
Do we cheers? Au revoir, drunk history.
we hardly knew you.
Sad. We hardly knew you after like 10 seasons or something like that.
Oh, it was actually so much really great history they talked about.
It was so good. I really enjoyed that program more than many.
Yes. More
And
than
I've
we
got
should.
friends of friends. I've got 1 degree of separation from one of my favorite storytellers, Mr. Mark Gagliardi.
More than 1 degree? 1 degree. You know somebody
Unless
that
you
knows
know them
that person.
personally, in which case it's 2 degrees.
Oh, so you've actually met them.
Yes.
So in that case, I've got 2 degrees of separation.
Right.
Everybody here has 2 degrees.
And if you watch Drunk History, you'll know Mark Gagliardi is the one who can never stop laying on the floor. And he promises he won't lay on the floor this time, and he still lays on the floor and laughs himself silly.
As long as he doesn't wet it.
The floor is a good place to lay down sometimes.
It's flat usually.
Mm.
The general rule of thumb is it's okay to have that warm feeling inside you. It's when you feel it running down your leg there's a problem.
Now, when you're
Take
laying
that
on
floor.
the deck of a ship and you get that feeling of that's probably just the ocean spray.
Yeah, it's usually
At
warm.
least half the time.
And it's not usually that flat.
Well, here's the thing about the floor. The floor will always be there for you.
Which,
True.
no, when you're on the ship, you got the deck. You don't have a floor. You only have a deck.
Is
So
the
it's not always
floor.
there.
The floor is the deck. The deck will always be there for you.
It will.
When you're drunk and you need to take care of things, you can always.
No, I find that it's a very fancy place to be. because then you're all decked out. See what I did there?
That's
Mhm.
why we're moving on.
Yeah, and I'm going to excuse myself for a little bit because I need more mulled wine. So
Oh, please.
I'll be right back.
Refill.
Yes.
I personally find the deck to be a great guide to tell how many rum sharks you are. Because if you're on the deck and you need to hold on, you've had too much.
True enough. I did see recently 2 videos in rapid succession. So someone's spying on me, as they're known to do out there in the deep dark depths of the intranets. But one of them was, why does Captain Jack Sparrow walk the way he does? He looks like a moron, and this is why. And it's a little footage of our friend Captain Jack doing his thing, walking on land, and then there's a gent. Looks to be a very experienced sailor on an actual ship in rough waters, just walking himself down the hallway of the ship without falling over, because he's got his footing, but he looks like Jack because he's just do whatever you can to stay upright.
Gotta stay gimbaled.
Right.
And the other fun thing I saw was a bit of footage from a production of Cats done on a cruise ship. And they're all they're all posed like this, and suddenly they all go like all 10 of them in a row, just all the cats bend backwards a little bit.
You know,
It happens 3 or 4 times over the course of the video. I was like, that's actually really entertaining. That means we could do theatrical productions aboard Folly. It would just be a little tilted from time to time.
just not cats, please.
Okay.
Sorry, no cats.
You have cat-like tread, but not cats.
You know you've made it in the theater world when you're doing cats on a cruise ship.
Now the question is, do they have the is that one part of the body, has that been digitally eliminated or not?
Oh no.
It's not the filmed version of Cat.
I refuse the filmed one.
Nobody likes cat.
Hey!
Puss in Boots?
I liked Cats.
I don't know. Being forced to do cats on a ship sounds more like a punishment than a job.
Being forced to see it sounds like a punishment.
Everyone suffers at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I hear Blackbeard did that every week for a year until his crew finally broke.
I liked it.
They just didn't like wearing the spandex for him.
Look, stop pussyfooting around.
I had to get up for very important reasons.
And
Don't
that
worry.
was-
Cupcake!
Ah,
It's one of the good ones.
Ooh, looks so good.
I remember to put peanuts on it when they were done. We did the competition and I forgot. They're pretty good with the peanuts. Because they're salty, so they put a little salty peanuts kick to it. I like it.
don't
Turns
worry.
out.
While you were gone, like the cats, we paused.
Oh, I'm tilted a little because you're on a ship.
Yeah.
No, we're just all a bit tilted.
Yeah.
Except for Redlegs, he's kilted.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Not demonstrate.
And remember, everything's in perfect working order.
No pants club. Hashtag no pants.
Nothing is worn.
Also, I've been told that my blanket is on its way, so I'll be able to, like Lolly and Doc, I'll be able to show off my logoed blanket at some point in the near-ish future, I suppose.
Oh, aye, and it's a new month, so aren't we getting the new Pirate Horoscope merchandise in?
I believe so. You know, we might have tonight, except Ness is not here. So we'll find out. Maybe by Friday we'll have one of our next horoscopes up. Although they change in the middle of the month, so I don't know.
Then she still has time.
Then she still has time.
Yeah.
Don't we all? We're all making our own time. We're all making time.
Actually, that reminds me. Give me a moment. Oi, pull Nessa back up. She's about done. Sorry, what?
Are you keel hauling her?
No, it's just her bath night.
Just checking.
When you keel haul, you're in for the full circuit. You don't get to come up early.
Remind me never to tick off Devlin, eh?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have one of these second-rate cupcakes that don't measure up at all.
Don't be so hard on yourself. They were up against very good cupcakes.
Very good.
Or the kind that come from the box.
No,
Were they hot? Were they from the box?
mine were not from the box. They had pre-packaged ingredients, but were not from a box.
They didn't arrive in a box.
They didn't arrive in
Next
a
time,
box.
go to the store and buy some.
They're not as good. That I'll say. Store-bought, not as good as my second-rate cupcakes even. These are very tasty. And if you're curious, particularly about Devlin's fantastic, I forgot the word already, hazelnut cupcakes. I can't type anything because I'm all messy.
Let's stop saying
You can head to our Discord, which you should do anyway, and check out the recipe. We forgot to take pictures. So at some point, I'll also post the pictures of the remaining cupcakes, and you can at least visually judge the cupcakes. I will tell you, it's not fair. Visual judging is not fair. But, oh well.
All right,
Tis what it is.
that's a known rule. If the facts don't support your case, don't argue the facts.
I'd always remember that never let the facts interfere with a good story.
Exactly.
Never.
Right.
Yep. Fictional facts
But
and
I-
factual fictions.
At the very least, though, mates, we do have the recipe ready for you
Oh,
in our Discord.
did you ever post your second-class cupcakes recipe?
How would I do that? I get them through a company what sends me the ingredients separately packaged, so no.
Oh, it ain't on the back of the box?
Not on the back of the box.
The front of the box?
When we're making historical recipe soda bread,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna actually listen to me, right?
It's a possibility.
Now, are you going to make a scotch and soda bread?
Ooh.
Only if you were there, mate.
Oh, wait.
I
We
appreciate
can't.
that.
It's for St. Patrick's Day. It would have to be an Irish whiskey and soda bread.
You're right.
They do whiskey and soda.
Dear St. Patty.
Is that a thing you do, though?
What?
Who, me? No, I don't do that.
No, whiskey and soda. Is that a thing?
Yes.
Everything goes with
No.
soda.
I don't
Yes,
drink the
it is.
brown liquor unless
It
it's
is a
brown rum.
thing. It is a thing. Is it a thing that I do? No. But is
No.
it a thing? Yes.
That's been made.
The whiskey is angry enough, it doesn't need angry water added to it.
But there are
That's
people who like it. And as I have learned, when you're drinking things, when you're drinking the brown liquids, the right ones are the ones that you like, and how you like it is the right way to like it.
And just in general,
Yeah.
don't yuck anybody's yum.
That's kind of the point.
Yeah. If you like your brown liquor, however you like your brown liquor, we like that you like your brown liquor.
It's really not for me to tell you not to like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Or put
people
more
have their
in.
own choices. I remember one time talking to a group of people about, I tried to come up with the strangest combination of foods that I could think of. And I came up with pickles and pancakes.
How somehow
And I said,
you can make
that's
that.
maybe something that I don't really particularly care for. But if that's what you like, that's what you like. And don't let anybody ever tell you that it's wrong if that's what you like. And you can take that in many different ways. Not just with pancakes or food. You can take it with all kinds of things. If you're a person that happens to like the My Ponies. If you like
Brony.
that, then you like that. And don't let anybody tell you that it's wrong. Even if it is.
Or as the pirates say, PG-13-ish, I'm sick of this bros before hoes stuff. It's for me, it's shanties before panties and docks before cocks. You can like who you like, but the sea be your first love.
I
That's
see what you did there.
I practiced that one for a while.
Yes.
If you don't believe me, go find my TikTok.
I saw it.
Marcy, you made me so happy. I was literally here. I was scrolling along and sharing my wee videos with Devlin, and I was like, I just love doing these. They make me feel creative, and like I've done a little film. It's just a tiny spurt of creativity, but it makes me feel very good. And I would say I wish I made this one. There might be two, but I made this one specific one where I was like, I want the folks from our crew to duet me on this video because it's so Fortune's Folly. And then literally the next morning, I opened up my tiki-talkie, and there was Mercy fulfilling my every wish without me saying, "Hey, Mercy, would you mind doing the thing?" I was very pleased. Thank you.
Well, I was looking for something to do last night, so I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, just look at this."
Well, it made me very happy.
Oh, good.
And I figure while we're all here, I'll work on kitten.
I will say, when I'm looking for something to do, I find that sleeping is a great thing to do.
Wow. My screen went crazy. Apologies. If everybody heard loud music.
Yeah, a little bit.
A bit.
It went all black, and when it came back, it was on someone else's channel. So my apologies
Oh,
for being
dear.
loud. And we're back now, and I'm sorry. Don't have any idea what happened.
These things are very
Devlin,
confusing.
did you freeze yelling at me?
Sorry, I was looking to share the link for your TikTok, but I can't find it.
That's okay. They can find it themselves. I could share it, but I won't. So there. Ha-ha! Actually, if you go there and you look up hashtag Captain McKenna, you're only going to find me. So.
Oh, I didn't even hashtag it Mercy.
Oh no.
I did. What? You didn't? You normally
No, I forget
do,
what
right?
I hashtagged it.
Yeah. All right, there it goes. Starting to upload last Saturday night. So if you're curious to see what happened in the kitchen, in the galley for the cupcake bake-off, it'll be up in an hour or so. Due to the speed of the internets. The deep, dark internet. Are you still looking? Stop it. I'll find it. Not hard.
I think it's my last video. If you go to mine, it's my most recent. Oh, no, it's not. I did another one afterwards that's not pirate related. Forgot.
I mean, there can be things that are not pirate related.
Not on this stream.
That's
Yeah.
allowed.
Not on this stream.
Not here.
I'm related though, so what's the point? Yeah. I mean, all you need to know is, hi, I'm at Kraus Mouse on TikTok. Ta-da! Ahoy, Kadajo!
Ahoy.
It's good to see you, mate. Speaking of all the folks who are massively supportive of my weird videos, Kadajo every day making me feel good about my tiki-talkies, my crocodile style video.
Same. On the clock app.
Now everything is back on screen. I'm no longer got a big black screen, and I'm no longer flipping away to our other friends' channels, which was really strange. They're not even streaming, so I don't. Sunset Rummin with me. Woo! So, Redlegs, I have a question about your mulled wine, actually, that I've forgotten to ask you earlier, and have now just remembered to ask you. How
I
timely.
have an answer for you. Let's see if they match. I'll
You said
start
it
with
was
the
a-
answer, and the answer is buffalo.
Then I don't even need to ask my question. But I probably should, as I'm not sure that's actually the answer.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead. Ask the question. We'll see what happens.
All right. You said it's from Amathea Wine. Amathea?
Amalthea. A-M-A-L-F.
You know, it's also the name of the lady in the Last Unicorn, right?
You know, I don't really like unicorns. I
Okay,
find
that wasn't
unicorns
my
are
question
jerks.
either.
Unicorns tend to be amazing jerks. They're very uppity about themselves. I think they're all
Really
hiding like,
snobby.
oh, look at me. I'm a unicorn. I've got this horn in my head. I need to who cares?
I have to disagree with you, Red Legs, because I like a little bit of good jerk unicorn. Once it gets all smoky.
I've never really had that. I was thinking attitude more than taste. So I will be willing to try that. But anyway, we're talking about a unicorn.
I don't believe Red Legs has ever seen a unicorn because they're awfully snobby about who they appear to, and I don't think that he's been a virgin.
I'm actually more fond. I am going to say that because of my seafaring ways, I like the narwhal better.
Well, that's fair as well.
Yeah.
All right, now my actual question.
Go ahead.
So your mulled wine is Amalthea Winery wine.
Yes.
Did you mull it or did you purchase it mulled?
I mulled it.
What did you do? What for mulling spices? What was
All
your?
right, so this is what I did. There's a wonderful place you can find on the Magic Box. The one that we're on right now.
The Pansies of the intranets, yes.
Yes, of the intranets and the interwebs. A place called Pansies Spices.
Oh,
Yes.
they're so good.
They have mulling spices that I used in this particular case. Plus, I added some star anise and an orange, some cinnamon sticks, and then to sweeten it up and to fortify it, I used cognac, some molasses and brown sugar, and I'll put all that together, and I'll let it just sit in the pot of crocks.
As we are talking about things that
And it
we're
warmed
willing
up,
to,
and it's very tasty, and I like it.
as we're talking about things we're willing to put in the chat over here, that's Pansies Spices. They are a company with a conscience.
That too.
In a big way.
Big
Buy
time.
things from them.
Yes.
They're wonderful.
Now,
So now I need
just
the mulling
to get
spices
down
in there.
into the nitty gritty, the spices are things like whole cloves and allspice are the two big ones, and of course cinnamon. But I use cinnamon sticks for that. So, so allspice, clove, cinnamon, orange, not orange juice, but a whole orange so you not only get the flavors from the juice of the orange, but from the rind with the oils and the rind of it leaching out, and of course the star anise, which gives it that nice anise flavor, if nice subtle, but it also looks very pretty.
As long as you don't give us any anus flavor.
No, that would be
Don't mix up your vowels.
that would be the seventh planet from the sun.
Uranus.
Not mine, but yours.
Yeah. Dakkar, I sent you something because as I realized, as we're floating links all around, I believe you can actually show it if you can prepare to do that.
I am happy that you put the link to Pansies in there.
Me as well. And now that I know they have mulling spices as well as cooking spices, because I don't use a lot of cooking spices. I like a lot of different spices in my cooking, but either it's getting mailed to me or I'm ordering it from somewhere most of the time. I make do with a good lot of spices, but not a lot of like different mixed spices. You know what I'm saying?
I do, because they do have a lot of mixed spices there.
And they all sound delicious.
I found one that was called Arizona.
Arizona Dreaming.
And I used that.
It just
I
flipped
mixed
across
that
my
in.
screen.
I got an avocado. I smushed it up. I don't know what that. Oh, there he is. I smushed that up. I put some of that Arizona stuff. Also added grilled onions into that and some grilled kale. And I mixed that all in with the avocado. And I put it on a toasted pita. And then I put a fried egg on top of that. And that was my breakfast.
That shouldn't sound as delicious as it does, honestly. But
It is amazingly delicious.
I did find their mulling
If I ever
spices.
owned a one of those brunch places, that would definitely be on the menu.
It looks like Dakkar has figured out how to share our video.
I'm
I
not
like
sure.
the screenshot.
I don't know why the screenshot my eyes look like that though.
I'm not
Marcy,
sure how to
it
get rid
looks-
of that
Let's do
red
that a lot.
box.
All right, Mercy, it looks like you're trying, but not necessarily succeeding on having anime eyes.
I don't know what that was.
I think it's
Either that
adorable.
or someone goosed you at that
I had a
moment.
lot of caffeine yesterday, though, to be real.
Oh, there it is. Haha. Okay. This might work. I don't know. Let's try it.
There was a Yuki dog zombie guy.
By now, don't you think that's a given?
Yuki.
So, is this idea gonna get
Why
me in
is
trouble?
he a Yuki
Maybe.
dog zombie?
Is this idea gonna cause me physical
I'll
pain?
have
Yeah,
to
definitely.
explain it for
Does it involve breaking the law? By now, don't you think that's a given?
But
So-
if somebody
I
is
don't
in
hear it.
trouble of creating a name that is Yuki dog zombie, I
Red Legs
think
is steamrolling us real bad, and also I don't think there's any sound on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't hear sound.
Go ahead, Red Legs.
I
what I'm
can
saying
fix
is
that.
somebody's gone to all the trouble to create a handle that says Yuki dog zombie. There has got to be a wee bit of a story behind that. Why would you want that to be your name? What are you trying to say about yourself? Except maybe you like to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I don't know. That might
Yuki,
be
not
it.
Yugi.
In
Well,
trouble? Maybe.
Actually,
this idea
copy
gonna
my
cause me
name from a
physical
Japanese
pain? Yeah,
singer that they like.
Does it involve breaking the
There you
law?
go.
that could be,
By now, don't you think that's a given?
Is Yuki
So,
a dog
is this
zombie?
idea gonna get me in trouble? Maybe. Is this idea gonna cause me physical
And
pain?
how do
Yeah,
you take
definitely.
care of a dog zombie?
No, I'm
I mean,
assuming
Yuki
it's not
doesn't
working.
like
Do you
zombies.
have to pick? Do you have to pick up and bag any droppings you get from a dog zombie?
Oh my goodness.
These are important things to ask.
No, they're important things that your brain won't stop asking you.
Look, it's dog zombies. I mean, you're taking care of a dog zombie. Now, I don't know if this is terrifying.
I think that's a good as reason as ever to be a Japanese singer you loved.
Right.
As
Also, we've already
inspiration.
been through this with Yuki. If you'd been around, you'd already
Is
know them.
Yuki is it Yuki dog zombie? Or is it
Yes.
Yuki?
Dog zombie.
I mean, is,
Doesn't matter. What I was trying to say is we've already been through this with them, and they have told us they don't really care for zombies particularly, and they're more the doggy part of their name, except that it comes from.
well, then
the
why
singer
do you
that-
have the zombie?
Because it comes
The
from a singer.
singer.
You pay attention. You ask questions. You pay attention to the answers.
I am, but you haven't answered it.
I've not answered any questions. Yuki did.
They did answer it.
No, well, they said that. Well,
Well,
it
maybe
doesn't
not
make-
pick
I don't
apart her name
understand
when
what
she
the zombies
likes it,
part.
and that's what she picked.
I believe this falls under not yucking one's yum.
Yeah.
I'm not yucking. I'm trying to understand so I can enjoy their yum with them.
Wildly confused. Red legs is what we've done.
I'll ask, was the name of the singer Yuki, or was it the full name of the singer is Yuki Dog Zombie? The full name of the is Yuki Dog Zombie.
That we might find out.
I have no idea what this conversation is about.
Well, it's in the stream. It's in the chat.
Oh, I was working on making the video do the video.
Well,
Not sound on that yet.
Even the second time.
well, we wouldn't have. I wouldn't have
Oh, well.
sound because I turned my sound off.
Breaking the law? By now,
Why, if it's going through the actual stream,
Right,
we wouldn't know.
right.
Oh, true. Maybe everyone else heard the sound.
I think that's possible.
What do you think, mates?
I
Can
got
you hear
screaming
it?
at red legs.
Mates, can you hear it, or is it just us?
don't you think that's a given?
So, is
Just
this
us.
idea gonna get me in trouble? Maybe. Is this idea gonna cause me physical pain? Yeah, definitely.
That's a
Does it
really
involve
good
breaking the
topic.
law? By now, don't you think that's a given?
So,
I have no idea. Never tried that
I'm
before.
just saying.
I have no
Really
idea.
Good cupcake.
It looked really good.
What I was gonna say is probably the scariest animal you could come up with is a shark that is a zombie. Would a
I agree
zombie
with that.
shark be dangerous, or would it be inconsequential because it's a shark and we're on land and sharks can't really do well on land?
We aren't always on land. I don't like the idea of zombie sharks at all. Did you hear about Jack Sparrow's tales?
It's already a shark. How does it change?
That's why that's
A
another good
zombie
question.
powers. It's scary.
Would you treat a
It's
zombie shark
undead.
any different than you would from a regular shark?
I would treat it any different. I'd be equally as frightened of a zombie shark
As to opposed to a real shark.
as a real shark because I'm also really scared of real sharks. So
You know when we're on a boat, when we're sailing, they're right underneath you the whole time.
all the time.
Every moment.
That's why I don't go into the water with Ness on bath day.
That's true.
That's the only reason.
Well, actually hogs the soap.
What I think about, zombie could get bit by the zombie shark could get bit by a normal shark or a normal zombie. The rum's working.
Not scared.
Or perhaps a space rock came and struck it and turned it into a zombie.
Okay, so what you do when you're attacked by zombies is you head for the ocean. You get in your boat and you go just like so far out so the zombies can see you, preferably with a back breeze. So you're down, you're upwind of them, so they can smell you, so they come at you. But you're in a boat, so they come into the ocean and they're zombies. So I'm sure they can't swim.
But they don't really.
So they all end up in the ocean. But then, the sharks come along and say, "Oh, look, dead people, let's eat them." And they eat the people and they become zombies. So now you've got zombie sharks. And so now you got to figure out what to do with them. So you go back onto the land and you stand around and you go, "Hey, sharky, come and get me." And so they try to swim up on the land to get you.
Or do you remember you have that mute button? I can't remember the last time I hated anything this much.
I have a very logical zombie attack plan. Get bit and die.
All sharks.
Yeah,
No.
I won't survive. I don't have a plan. I don't do zombies.
Oh wait, Yuki Dog Zombie has explained it to us.
In length.
Yeah.
Hey. So Yuki is the singer's name of the band Mixed Speakers Inc. And make up
Cute zombies though.
Cute circus zombies. Correction.
There we are.
Right, Yuki enjoys circus stuff. I saw a bunch of
I like
Pokemon
circus
Fun Parade Pokemon stuff over on our Discord.
Yeah. A very cool
Pokemon Day recently. We had a chat about
clown.
which Pokemon was the most piratey, and also what the favorite Pokemon is. And of course, I found, while he's not normally very piratey, I did find a graphic of my favorite Pokemon, Eevee, as a pirate, and I posted that over in the Discord, and it's really adorable. Just saying. What's your zombie preparedness plan, Dakkar?
Get bit and die.
That's your plan. That's a terrible plan. Did you say you had the worst plan? Because you do have quite the worst plan.
It does require less preparation though.
Yeah.
He went through all his preparations, preparation A, B, C, all of them, and he got right past preparation G, and the last one he found was the one he used. Right after G.
Sorry, nodded off for a minute. What?
Redlegs is on a roll today. I'm gonna try some of that mulled wine. I'm going to Amalthea and I'm gonna get some.
He knows some of his alphabet. So.
Brilliant.
Stop it.
Give him time, he'll lose even that.
The zombie plan is the same as the plan for anything else. Close the door and hide under the bed.
It's a theory.
Now, in a zombie circus, are the clowns zombies? Or are they even scarier?
They're already
Oh,
clowns.
they're nice. They're cutie size.
Well, I mean, that's what we're learning from Zombie Dog, Yuki Dog Zombie is it had to do with circus of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
But they were cute clown circus outfits. So.
Right, but nothing about the dogs.
But most clowns are cute and not that scary. Don't know what everyone's problem is.
If they've got the big shoes, they probably wouldn't be able to shuffle very well. So, is that?
You just run; they'll never catch you.
But they can juggle.
Ooh.
It's true though. Think about that. About a zombie ending up wearing clown shoes. That would be really, really fortunate for their prey.
I'm sorry, but that would be it.
They'll just fall down.
That would definitely be it.
Or that's true. That would be it.
You will laugh at them as the zombie acrobat bites you.
I picked up what you was laying down there.
Thank you very much. I was wondering when somebody was.
Sure.
I knew Devlin had it.
Hey, it's not that we don't understand you; we're just trying to ignore you.
Yeah, but when I'm not talking, nobody else is saying anything either.
Fair point. Continue.
It's that whole. I'll just keep going until you pull me back. And if you don't, well, then that's your fault.
Mm-hmm. I figured it out before I did figure it out. I think we need a little we need a crash screen for the Twitch as well as like the mute button, but like we need a crash screen that's just raining in red legs.
Pull off a hook to pull them off the stage.
Right. We have to get one of our C artists to make one of those technical difficulty signs. It's just red legs holding 2 wires.
I've seen that before. Just make sure we don't go out.
Or 2 tasers.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just go to the screen.
Let's go to the screen. There you go.
And you need that particular music behind it.
It's got to be Spanish Flea, man. Yeah. There's that. All right, 20 minutes until Saturday's replay is available on the YouTubes. You can always watch it here. The best part about watching our videos on demand here on the Twitch is that it drives up our numbers here on the Twitch, but also you can watch our Friday night gaming feeds until they disappear because we're not allowed to post them on the YouTube.
And
because Jackbox frowns on it.
I will try to use the proper pronouns from now on.
You know, I feel bad because I feel like we never asked, or we asked and I forgot. So my apologies entirely. I just kind of went with, I'm just going to call them Yuki because that's what it says. So, but now we know.
No, yes.
And no one is half the battle.
No one is half. It's most of the battle.
Half?
The fighting part.
Fighting hard in the battle. All right. So public. There we go. We was talking about reading stuff before, and I almost didn't bring this with me today because I haven't had a chance to read it yet. It showed up, delivered to me today, here in my off the grid, quarantined, enforced shore leave place here. But Captain Devlin pointed me to a brand new comic book series called A Man Among Ye, or A Man Among Ye, if you're going to say the whole thing ye style. And it's at least a 4-book series, because that's how far out that I've subscribed for, about Anne Bonny, and thereby, likely, Mary Read and Calico Jack. And as we're talking about Lady Pirates this month for our
Society, you're gonna get me in trouble? Maybe.
They was 2 of the most famous. They're gonna get their own. But meanwhile, I'm really excited to read this. So I'm hoping by the next time we chat again, I'll give you a rant or I'll give you a roar and say it's just terrible and I'm sad that I've gotten a bunch of them. But I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, the artwork seems good.
If nothing else, if somehow it's just abysmal, which I can't imagine it is. There's really good history to base the stories off of, first of all. We already know that. And the art's good, so that's more than half the battle. The rest of it's fighting, as we've discussed. But if it's just awful, I'll turn the pages into buttons.
There you go.
Because I have a button maker, and we'll make really neat looking buttons. But meanwhile, I'll let you know hopefully next week if it's worth picking up before you can't anymore. So.
I have that on my digital to-read stack as well. I have 4 issues.
Yes, that's why I think it's a 4. I think it's a short run 4-book series. And then if I really love it, I'll cross my fingers that they make it into a trade. Because that's the ones I like, because then I don't have to keep so many books.
And then
they weigh down the folly. They weigh down the folly real bad.
Plus, if it's good and you get the trade, you can make buttons anyway.
Yeah, that's as well. Mm-hmm. That is true. Pirate Jack. No one is half the battle. All right. Anyway, that's most of what I had to contribute this evening, besides drinking and eating cupcakes. Which again, not sorry about that. Maybe I'll go pick the candy off of yours.
After pictures.
Lick the frosting off. Yeah, no, I'll make sure to get pictures. I think there's 1 or 2 of mine left, and definitely about 6 or 7 of yours left. So he made double the amount of mine just to make sure he was driving mine down. It's a competition, so I'll make twice as many. They're twice as good if you make twice as many.
I can see this now. You'll go to set up the pictures and just clean off all the tops of the things. It's like, I don't know why it says they're so good. They look so bare. Sabotage, I said. Sabotage.
I don't know. I mean, the double candies in yours was just... The Nutella as a secret weapon was nasty, but the putting 2 truffles in each cupcake was just the nail.
Put it over.
There's literally nothing I can say is better about my cupcakes underneath the frosting. The only part that's better about my cupcakes is underneath the frosting. That's what I meant to say.
People
I like
eat
the
that
chocolate
part?
chip filled. The chocolate chip filled cakey bits are real good. Anyway. Now Red Legs has nothing.
Oh, I've got plenty. I was just asked not to say anything, so I'm not.
What's that not to say anything?
Where is he? He's over. He's right there. That guy. That guy right there. He said, "Oh, don't. Basically, he told me not to speak, so I'm not speaking."
I think you're reading into it. If you don't speak, all he has your pretty face, and really, that's not going to last an hour.
Well, depends on how much you like looking at Red Legs.
I don't think we'll make it to 7 on that.
That's only 1 minute away.
Exactly.
Oh, harsh, Captain.
Right, just piling on Red Legs there. Dunno.
Oh, we've hurt his feelings. I didn't even know he had those.
He's so pretty. I really... While we're giving compliments, though, I really have always really liked Red Legs' glasses. I think they're real fancy, and I like them. I'm being nice and giving compliments, and I have nice things to say. And then nothing to say.
No, they make him look smart.
We even gave some content this week, and we're still halfway through, and no one's saying anything. Welcome to Sunset Rummin, where we need to put some more rum in us. Or less. We haven't really decided what works better.
I can describe a game that I've come across we should try someday.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Sure.
Is it a Friday night type game? Or what type of game is it?
It is a proper pirate game, one of the very few I've ever found, researching 18th century party games, which were all the rage. I
What
cannot.
else would you do?
Well, I cannot find my source again, so the academic in me is sad. I'm sorry, but if anybody can find a source, let me know. But I did read it somewhere in a first-hand account, so it might be from History of the Pirates by Defoe, which is a little sketchy on some of its details, but the general thoughts are good, whether they're apocryphal or not. It doesn't much matter.
Defoe never let the facts get in the way of good stories.
That's right, and he probably didn't even write most of it. But anyway, oh yes,
I'd play
that's a
that
good
with you,
one.
Redlegs.
Yep.
I'd play that with you.
This falls in the category of nothing needed games. These were very popular parlor games, and this one was apparently played on board ship, specifically with criminals. I didn't say it. I didn't say that word, but specifically.
Criminals. Ha!
So 2 of the crew come up, and one is to play the magistrate or the lawyer, and one is to play the accused. And the job of trying to think of the proper counselor, the prosecutor, is then to describe in glorious detail the crimes for which the accused is to be punished. And you make that as elaborate as you possibly can be, and then there's a vote taken at the end as to whether they are guilty or innocent. I cannot find my source, so if anyone finds it, let me know. But, a little improv game.
But yeah, we've heard this before. It's Captain's Mast, eh?
Is it? Is that what it's? Okay.
It sounds a bit like your game is also a way of entertaining yourself while you're on ship.
Yeah, it is.
Which was to do a Captain's Mast that wasn't a real one.
Right.
It was more how much can you build up your
exactly
story.
Unfortunately, mate, this is a Defoe.
Is it? Yeah.
It's Defoe, and it's floated around the internets for quite some time as well. I love it when it does, because then people actually start talking about what pirates did on ships again. And then, oh yes, that's great.
It fits. It doesn't seem out of line to me. It fits right in with what people were doing in parlors in high society for games at the time, which were often very body raucous and inappropriate. Yeah.
I mean, that's what we do here.
Right.
We're entertaining ourselves, literally.
Pirates.
We're just chatting and having drinks and trying to exaggerate Redlegs' exploits. I mean, we never exaggerate. He's done quite enough.
Let's see. Here it is.
Yuki's happy there's better games now. Well,
Yeah.
we play dice.
Yeah. A good game of hazard.
Gambling fun.
Aye. Captain's wife, or Shut the Box?
Shut the box. I was gonna go grab my shut the box as soon as you mentioned games, but you said something about no, you don't need anything.
Here it is. Sorry, I found your source on the mock Captain's Mast. It was the crew of the Morning Star in 1722.
Okay, sounds about right.
So it's local news.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Timely local news.
In fact, it says here that not only did the man expound on his exploits, he blamed a pirate named George Bradley, the quartermaster of the ship, who was actually sitting as judge on the trial for his crimes.
Nice.
Let's see. I liked his plea. Are you guilty or not guilty? Not guilty, I please your worship. Not guilty, say so again, sir. I'll have you hanged without trial. Let's see. Pray, my lord, I hope your lordship will hear some reason. Do you hear how the scoundrel prates? What have we to do with reason? I have you know, rascal, we don't sit here to reason. We go according to law. And then he asked about his dinner.
Oh, of course.
We're always doing that.
Yes,
We're constantly asking about food.
There's no good reason that a trial should extend past his supper.
Right. My
fair.
favorite part is that Mercy's cat has just decided to visit her. Mercy's cat has the same color head as my cat, and I really looked down there for a minute and went, why? How did Marley teleport over to visit Mercy?
Would you really put it past Marley?
I've definitely had just enough spiced mead to, treats for familiars.
Uh-oh.
I'll have to get one. Hold on.
Yeah, me too. I can do that though,
Take it.
because Marley deserves it. Let me see if I can, I'll grab it. Grab and return.
I'm treating my familiar.
Someone get Redlegs out of his self-imposed,
Silence.
I thought that's what you wanted. I was just doing what you wanted me to do.
Mate, I would have thought the salt air would have toughened your skin a little bit.
Oh, I'm tough enough. I just didn't want to, you ask for something. I'm a people pleaser. If that's what you want, I don't want to upset you.
Right, Cadagio.
Right.
Important questions, mate. Important questions.
Uh-oh.
I have chicken flavor cat bits.
Those are decent. They're a little chewy, but they're okay.
I have the green stuff for cats. This is not green stuff that's going to get Cat McKenna in trouble. This is the green stuff that my cat really likes. It's grown in Dakkar's backyard. It's catnip, but it's fresh catnip.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I got those plants right. I mean, they're separate, so.
Now, if you were in New Jersey, you'd have no problems with that now.
Right.
The cat first.
Nor a handful of other places, so it depends on what kind of night she wants, honestly. Right now, Marley is asleep, so I can wake her with it and hope she goes right back to sleep.
You haven't been giving her enough if the bag is still.
Come here.
Is that one of those, we're going to wake you up to give you a sleeping pill?
Yep.
Come here. Come here.
We're going to wake you up,
Why
make
you
you
act like
sit
that?
around
Come
in the
here.
living room several times because the catnip will apple your kitty brain. It sounds like green
Don't.
sweater. All right.
I was trying to get the dog too, but she being a rat. Let's get the cat.
This is a treat for you from Kadajo. Here you go, my dear.
Come here, kitty.
I think you're about to become our best
Okay.
friend.
Not you. You already had one. These are kitty treats. You need. Come here. Come here so they can see you. Come over here.
She's currently huffing it into her nose.
Yep.
Here, I'll be all right. One more.
Your cat doesn't have a problem.
I love green. Yeah, I need to look. I need to check the.
All right, you
card.
come here.
Do.
Cat.
I can hear her licking from over here, from across the room. Kadajo, that hat is fantabulous.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I'm sense it's dark green
Don't
then.
harass the cat.
Because
Don't.
like when I wear my
That's
hat on
enough.
stream here, it looks black, but it's
That's
it's
enough.
that dark green. But I love it. Yeah, and an orange feather sticking out of it. I don't know anything about accessorizing with orange. Neither does Devlin.
me neither. No. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you'll have to share pictures
Ridiculous.
with us.
We'll get Marley on the screen as soon as she starts tearing around the room. Right now, she's legitimately eating a salad, basically. Just
Not good for cats.
I was trying to get the dog on here too, but she's gonna mess with the cat. It's not gonna be nice. Come here.
oh no.
Well, as long as it's happening to you and not to me, I'm fine with it.
We've got to make Yuki some pink pirate accessories. We don't have a lot of pink pirate accessories. Not even
No.
Bones has much
Oh,
pink. She's
true.
fancy, but
Well,
her
she's
logo is pink.
teal.
XOXO Bones is
You want this? Come on.
I knew a pig pirate once. I wouldn't necessarily say it was an experience I'd recommend.
Oh no.
Captain, that wasn't a pirate. That was a pig.
Come here.
I don't.
I'm sorry. I know I should have told you when it happens. And I know it's one of those things.
But this is for the
I know it's in
kitty.
your past, and the past should stay in the past. But that wasn't a pirate. That was a pig. And
Really?
you were really drunk. You were really drunk.
See, that's the
And
cat's here.
you told us not to bring it up, but I just wanted to say you brought it up, not me. I just wanted to let you know that wasn't really a pirate.
It wasn't a pig.
Redlegs.
It was a crewman who lost his only set of clothes in a gambling bet.
No, that was. I mean, you're right about it being a part of the crew. I'm losing the clothes in the gambling bet. That part is all true, but no, it was a pig.
Oh,
Yeah, it explains a lot now, doesn't it?
Redlegs, I don't question who you take to the tavern. Don't get fucking me.
I thought there were one too many teats.
One.
Teeth now.
Come up here. You can come up.
One.
Come here.
Wait,
Come on.
Redlegs.
Come on, I will tell.
Macho says that you can't really rhyme with accessories of orange. I mean, what rhymes with orange?
No, it
act
doesn't.
Orange. I will stake my life on it.
Does
It's
not?
orange.
What does not rhyme with orange?
Correct.
That's right.
Good.
That is still one of my favorite jokes that I ever saw ever, actually.
Oh, and by the way, Yuki Dog Zombie, thank you.
I'm trying to find Yuki a really nice pink pirate hat because I've got some.
Take a nice red one and leave it in the sun for a very long time.
That will also do. Ooh, this one's got a fancy. Ooh, my.
There.
Pink, the proper color for gentlemen back in the day.
All right, so Kadajo, very
Come here.
disappointingly, Marley woke up, licked up all the catnip, spread it all around in front of her on the
Up here.
beanbag, and has passed back out to sleep. Dang it.
Come on.
It's there when she wants more.
Come here. You can get up. Come here. Oh, you're so dramatic.
That sounds about right as well, honestly.
Yeah. Well, the cat wants his treats, and the dog wants treats too. And then the dog's trying to growl at the cat, and it's a lot right now. All right, go ahead, get down. You're fine.
I found kind of a neat thing. I found kind of a neat pink, coral pink hat. That's a long link. I hope it works. But anyhow. There. That's my current thought. Someone made a coral pink pirate hat with net and lace embellishment.
Oh, that's
it's
pretty.
It's a fancy one.
It's very pretty.
It'll also show you the secret of many a tricorn, as it's not been, folded and fitted and steamed quite properly. So you can see how, if you're clever, you can take any old straw hat, and if it's a big old floppy straw hat, you can legitimately fold it up on 3 sides and make your own tricorn out of any existing straw hat.
All
If you have a
come from the
steamer
same
or an
place.
iron to get the folds in properly before you stitch the sides up, that's really the best way to do it.
I did that one time, and I put the hat on, I put the straw hat on, and I folded up the sides, and I didn't have anything to sew it on, so I just used a staple gun.
Oh, depending on how soft or hard your head is,
Yeah,
I mean, that could work for an afternoon.
about.
Nothing
How long did you
problem
take
with
that
that.
off?
It was a bloody mess.
Oh.
Well, see, there you are, Yuki. I really like the hat as well, and it's on the lower end. Like, you're not going to find a really fancy pirate hat for less than $20 many of the time. In fact, 90% of the time, you're
Yeah.
not going to find that. So, just saying, if you're looking for a pink pirate hat, that's a really good priced one that I like a lot. Endorsed by Cat McKenna. Hi, Kadaja,
we know how important those endorsements are.
someday I'm gonna also have, like, we have the screen. We're gonna just have one that's got a video game noise. Da 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 da. McKenna approves. 30 Helens agree. That's terrifying. It's still scary. That big old axe of yours. You need to clean that up, mate.
It's not my blood.
What? Ah,
I mean, that's the important thing, isn't it?
I mean, honestly, yeah. What's hanging off your anchor over there? I feel like I knew at one time and I've forgotten.
It's just a plaque. There's nothing written on.
The plaque.
Right here.
Well, yeah.
That. It's a plank. For when I need to walk the plank. I've got one.
Always good to bring your own.
Well, you know, how many people have a plank to walk? So I have one to walk in case I need it.
You and Doc.
Right.
Doc takes care of the folly one.
It's
the
hammer
other
time.
kind of pink
Do,
hat.
do, 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 ba, bum, do, ba, bum, do, do. Hammer time.
Oh, from that other Scotsman, McHammer.
Yes, exactly.
McHammer. That is his McHammer.
Because McGruber is not going to do it. It's going to fall down eventually. Watch it. There it goes. Ah!
He'd lend it to you, but you can't touch this.
That was my problem as I touched it.
Shouldn't do that. You'll go blind.
No,
Okay.
my palms all hairy.
Oh no! Also,
Mercy, you misspelled poop.
poop. It's a poop.
We're just trying to save us any trouble.
And we appreciate it.
Ness is going to be the one who's going to circle back with us on that. But she's gotten a lot of not just permission but research on what we can and cannot say and do here on our Twitch stream. Which, aside from saying we get one F-bomb by our own rules. We say PG-13-ish, and once one slips out, that's it. That's all we get.
We may not brandish in a threatening manner, so say the
Right.
lawyers.
Ah.
Also, just to make you realize, it's made out of EVA foam.
The axe.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
don't have to spell it. We're all
Watch this.
adults
Okay,
here.
you ready?
I didn't know I would actually still. See, I don't know that much about EVA foam. Except
don't
that I
wanna do
want
it
to
too
try to
much.
make stuff out of it.
I mean, look at it. It's not real.
No, but it bends more than I thought it would. Because I've heard of lots of cosplayers and lots of folks making weapons and costumery and props all out of that stuff, and I really haven't had the chance to try it yet.
Yeah.
So just to see that it bends at all, that's very interesting. Yeah, Naruto, I'm on board with you right there. I need to get me some of the foam.
Yeah.
I want to
I
start
mean,
making
it's
accessories.
designed. Everything I make is designed so that if for some reason it accidentally does hit someone, that they are not hurt.
Right.
I don't want anyone hurt by any of these props. You know, look at this.
It's very big. I believe pirates that we know once chased down a flock of fairies with one of those. Trying to mash up some fairies.
I don't want anybody to get. I don't want anybody hurt.
My mead's gone.
I mean,
Oh dear.
Hey,
Let's start it on the grog.
Red Legs.
sir.
We might have to have a crafting night for the crew for you to make something with EVA foam for us.
That I could work on doing a few things with EVA foam. Yeah.
I would love to have you do a stream where you built maybe a cutlass or something fun.
Ooh, I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Or
I
do
know.
you need more wine or you have one to show?
I have a little thing to show.
All right, good. Now we need the smash cut screen.
It's something that I'm sure the captain is going to recognize as soon as he sees it.
Uh-oh. I wasn't there. You can't prove nothing. Oh dear God.
So you
It
do
looks like
recognize it, don't you?
I've
It
been
looks
on
like
I've been on
it
both.
looks like it's a giant match.
If that's what you want it to be, that's what it is. But I made it as a giant mace.
Oh, aye.
Oh.
Now, the ones that I made for a particular event in which the captain was very much a part of, these were very, very tall, very, very tall. And it was the only part of the costume that he wore, the thing that he had to put on, that was in any way, shape, or form light enough for him to actually handle without it exhausting him, because everything else that he had to have was pretty much way too heavy. For whatever reason, the people who made the other things for him to use while they were using this thought that, oh, we need to make this out of a metal.
Aye.
And they didn't even have a way of holding it. I had to come up with a way for them to actually hold it so they didn't die.
So that was the only thing he was wearing. I just
I don't
wanted to
know what
circle
else he
back
was
to that
wearing.
just once.
Well, you heard the man. The rest was too heavy for me to handle in just polite company.
Exactly.
Question in
There
the
would have been
chat.
plenty of swearing if I hadn't fixed it for them. And let's just say I used the belt. If it wasn't for the belt, they would have been in a lot of trouble.
It's
His-
easier to lift with the belts.
Yes.
History question in the chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
read it to us.
Do we ever come into battle with people in armor? Yes.
I would say so.
Yeah, early on, by the middle 18th century, it's pretty much gone. But early on, there's still breastplates being worn. Very commonly by the Spanish, they still like those.
Spaniards, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, when those things happen, and you may know better than I do, but I'm thinking that on a ship, not as much. But remember, pirates did not just go from ship to ship.
Right.
Pirates quite often invaded small towns on the land and forts.
Aye.
So when they
Especially
would
one.
come to a fort or a settlement, that's where they would be more likely to encounter someone who might have an
Especially
armor of some sort.
A fort full of Spaniards hiding Spanish gold.
Aye.
But
We'll come take that
by
from
that
you.
time,
Fast price enough.
by that time, firearms were being used, and armor did not really protect anybody from firearms.
No, by the time you get into post matchlock, into flintlocks, but there is a piece that's left. If you look at a British or a French officer, they're wearing a gorget, a little metal piece. That is the last remnant of the breastplate of armor. It does nothing but look good. But
Yes, that was more for a fashion statement.
yeah, because you had to be an officer to afford a suit of armor. So that's saying, look at
It's
me.
kind of like today with people who graduate from West Point or from the Naval Academy having swords.
Swords, yeah.
They're given swords. Well, not given swords. They have to earn the right to
Earn
buy a
that
sword.
sword. Yeah.
But once they have, they have those, and well, there goes the yeah. But they have those, and but they don't really use them. They're a fashion statement, not a weapon.
Ceremonial.
Yes.
Well, like many of the young lords who just carry around their saber, does nothing for them. They don't know how to use it, or maybe just a wee bit, but it's mostly there to make them look good in their ceremonial dress.
Yes.
Yep.
I mean, they're brought out for special occasions. Weddings is one where they use the swords.
There were still breastplates being worn up into the 19th century. The French wore them during the War of 1812, and it generally just meant you got metal splinters behind the musket ball, and really not going to happen.
Aye.
Ouch!
Early on, it was probably practical. It might stop a shot, but not only the fashion wore off, but also it became known as an anchor.
Heavy.
Yes.
That's a heavy topic.
Well, also, I mean, if you want to go into the worlds that we tread quite often, as a 1500s era pirate helmswoman, once upon a Ren fair, I went up against a nearly half-armored knight. And I will tell you, as a completely unarmored pirate, it was frightening.
Should be.
Heavy
However,
topic.
you did have
It's a
more
heavy
movement.
topic. Get it? It's heavy. It's a heavy topic. Because I was going to say, don't you apologize. This is a great topic. And I realized what the joke was.
It is a heavy topic, but I don't think it dragged us down.
No, nay. Precisely.
It also comes down to expense. When you start building up bigger armies, you can't afford to put them in armor. And even, most of the time, your general foot soldier is not going to have armor anyway. He might have a mail coat if he's really, really lucky.
You're lucky.
Yeah, but you can't afford. We talked when we worked on the gun. We talked about how it was very often one shot, two shots, and then you're stabbing each other. So, bit of armor is not a bad idea if you can afford it. It'll stop a bayonet.
Now, I've often wondered in the Wars of the Stars, they had those plasticky looking armor bits that actually helped in any way, shape, or form, or if it was just actually I can't see as well, and that's why you can't shoot as well.
I feel like stormtroopers fall over a lot. So
Yeah.
maybe the plastic armor helps when they fall over and they go, oh, I'm so glad I was wearing this plasticky armor because it didn't hurt myself when I fell over that rock.
It still hurts when you hit your head on the slide-up door, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, but at that point, is it a bump in the head or a bump in the pride?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Well spake.
His name
Now,
was
in the
Wilhelm.
Stars of Trek, they just wore red shirts. That did absolutely no good whatsoever.
No.
I was like, look, I'm wearing a giant bullseye.
They did have individual force field armor. But anyway.
Wait, there's more.
More questions.
Hey,
Yes, we are. Thank you. Both cocky and crazy. What was the purpose of the red coats? The white stripes are just your equipment belts. They're just
These are straps.
these
yeah.
straps.
Yeah,
They're
but
just to look good. You use a white leather polish on them. Why were the coats red? This is such a great question.
That's so you couldn't see them bleed.
No, we don't really care. He's dead. So
That's
what?
our tales told. You can't see a bleed if you're wearing red.
It's because red dye
And
is
that's why
super cheap.
the captain is always wearing his brown pants.
It's all about finances. Red dye is incredibly cheap, and red wool is incredibly cheap. That's it.
That's why you keep your army looking the same. You all want your army to look the same as cheaply as possible.
Right. It does, though,
Yes.
when you're in the woods. So a lower ranking person wearing a red coat is going to be wearing a much darker, almost maroonish, dark red, because that was even cheaper than the brighter. You get into the really fancy officers, they're almost pink. They're that bright. That was considered a higher class. But when that dark red goes into the woods, it disappears like that. It's one of the first colors to disappear in your visual spectrum. It actually works really well. I've hunted guys in red coats in the woods, and it's very difficult to see. Yeah, because it's not.
So the closer they get to Redlegs' hammer, the easier they are to see. But the infantry and the lower class infantrymen will disappear amongst the brown branches in their dark red.
Yep.
Also, Dakkar.
Yeah.
Wouldn't one say that guerrilla fighting in the woods was less of a thing when the lobsterbacks were wearing their bright red?
Yes, and the irregular troops, the Rangers, Queen's Rangers, and such were often wearing green.
Aye, so
Green
it was
with
more.
black.
It was more of an esprit de corps as you're forming up your lines than.
Yeah,
actual
this is all. It's all a chess game. We want that bit of ground you have. We're gonna look bigger. We're gonna look stronger. We're gonna look more flashy, and you're gonna run away, which they do.
Washington, when he went and fought in the French Indian Wars, realized that that wasn't a good way to fight, and that's when they lost terribly, and that's when he learned how much guerrilla warfare, because the Indians used that, and how really useful that was. And so during the Revolutionary War, that's one of the things he learned. Even though he was part of the British forces in the French Indian War, he learned from that, You learned how successful they were.
I
And
don't
that's
think
when
Mr. Washington is bragging about the French and Indian War.
No, we don't talk about that. It was the style of battle, but it's also the terrain. So where George was fighting during the 1750s was a heavily wooded area. Different tactics worked better. Remember, up until even into modern times, Europe, the continent, the islands, they're deforested. They're big open fields. The only woodlands you have are heavily managed. They're not thick forests. They're just the trees. They keep all the undergrowth out. So that's where your tactics come from. You can move big blocks of armies around, which you can't do in the forests of Tennessee or out there.
But that's why they did a lot of. But also, there's something to be said about coming in, hitting at a target, and then running away before they have a chance to turn around and attack you back.
Yeah, I don't
because
want.
if you're not there to hit, they can't hit you.
Yeah, or just make them run away. That's what the bayonet is for. Put your whole line of guys with fixed bayonets and march forward. And you don't want your troops to die. You don't have a lot of them. You want the other guy to run away.
I don't think your troops are fond of that tactic either.
No.
Luckily, Washington was someone who could learn from not only his mistakes but from other people's successes, and he was astute that way. He studied those arts of war.
Are we going to talk accents? Can we please?
Yeah, can I talk accent a little wee bit, because I wanted to address that myself as well. I was just watching a linguist, a very skilled, cunning linguist, on a special who was breaking down.
Nope. Just let it go.
Breaking down all the North American accents. All right, so while we're talking about George Washington speaking with a modern American accent and whether or not he would have had a British accent realistically, there are two places in the North American continent who still to this day speak with an accent that would most resemble what the American accent of the day, being our day, the 1700s, the 18th century, would have sounded like. And one of them is Ocracoke Island. Mm-hmm. And I flippin' forgot the name of the other one, but they're basically they're islands. They're away from everyone else. And so the folks who were raised there are raised in the accent, and it's starting to slip away as the young people kind of leave and moderate their accents to match the rest of the country. But there are still these places tucked away that have that same sounding accent, one particularly being Ocracoke Island, which is fantastic and fascinating to me because that's also where our mate Blackbeard hanged out. So that's about as close as you're going to get to the sound of the accent in the area at the time. And I would say that if you could look that up, find it on the YouTubes.
Much closer to a New England, New Brunswick, Maine-ish accent. So if somebody in a video game or a movie is using more of a modern American accent, that's a lot closer to what he would have sounded like than the Queen. That British accent comes from the 1920s.
He was from, so he'd have, wouldn't he have a bit of a southern accent?
Yes.
From Virginia.
Yep, that was the much more common English accent of the time period.
Now here is an interesting thing I have noticed, and I have to be somewhat, I can't remember the phrase, but if you've ever seen a British actor do an American accent, and he can't do an American accent, he does a southern accent. Mm-hmm. The same way with an American actor who can't do a British accent, does a Cockney accent.
Most of the time.
Yes. And you'll notice that, I've noticed that when I've been watching some of those PBS shows with the British individuals, and they will do an American. Oh, here comes an American. And you listen to him and you're like, why does he sound like he's from Georgia or something like that?
Favorite things. One of my favorite things is knowing the nationality of the person putting on the accent and just applauding them while they do a brilliant job 97% of the time. And my favorite thing is catching any actor slipping into their own accent while they're doing a very good other accent. Yeah.
You mean like Kevin Costner when he was Robin Hood?
Yeah, why? That guy. Or, Dick Van Dyke. The most infamous accent ever put to film. Dick Van Dyke's Cockney accent from Mary Poppins.
So I could not go. The answer is he would sound Southern, but Southern was closer to English.
Yeah,
at
yes,
the
that's
time.
what we're getting at.
And vice versa. We've basically switched from what I've been reading mostly, is that we now sound more like the Brits of the time would have sounded, and then they sound more like the Americans would have sounded at the time. It's odd. It's very, very fascinating to read about. I highly suggest more reading about 18th century accents.
It's interesting.
Hugh Laurie was talking about when he was on House, on that he had to do, one of the things he hated was the letter R. Hated when he had to do a line with several R's in it. He would change the line to words where there were no R's.
Good thing there's no R in lupus.
When in doubt, it's lupus. 'Cause it's never lupus.
It's never lupus, except when it is.
Except when it is.
That posh British accent we think of today didn't come about until radio
Aye.
in the 20th century.
Some of the London accent, but there's so many.
Yeah.
You can basically split the city into almost quarters, I
Oh,
think,
you
and
can-
they've all got wildly different accents.
You can tell what neighborhood someone was born in England.
But that's sort of true in New York as well.
By the way,
That's also
one of the
true.
reasons that Tom Holland got the part of Spider-Man is because in the script it said at the end of the line he does a flip. Also, Tom Holland, because of his dancing abilities and his acrobatics, was able to actually do a backflip right there in the middle
He
of
does
it.
all of it.
And that's why one of the reasons he got the part of
He
Spider-Man.
does all of it. He does all of it. It's just.
I could do that. I don't want to.
Yes. Yuki, do you know why? What is it about your accent that some of your friends think that you sound British? Is it just the way you've bent your own words, or is it a location you're from? I'm not going to ask you where you're from on the stream, but if it's something about where you're from and that's the way you talk amongst people who weren't raised where you were. I'm just curious to see why people would say
Just
that.
someone who knows how to speak properly, that's all.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Probably.
These days, sometimes
Yeah, that's true. Sometimes when you just know how to pronounce a word properly, they'll think you're British because you know how to say the word the right way.
how do you say properly?
I don't.
Exactly.
He said properly. I cannot roll my R's.
Properly. That's how you
Properly.
say it. It's properly.
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 How do you say it properly? It properly.
Yes, properly.
I don't. I say it wrong.
Well, there's your problem. And I
It's
barely have a
wrong.
nail in that one.
Oh, you got a Florida accent. Sorry to hear that.
I think that exists. There's a brand of Southern accent. It's more mild than some of the southern states' Southern accents, but for sure.
The thing about, actually in Florida, they speak with a New York accent.
Some do.
In some places, that's where all the New Yorkers go to retire.
Hey.
I'm sorry if I gave away your joke, but that's like a legitimate truth.
No!
Those that ain't speaking the Yiddish. Aye.
That as well. That as
Forget
well.
about it.
No, what was I going to say about that? Nope. I'm having half thoughts. I cannot remember what I was trying
Are
to
you having the top half or the bottom half?
We don't know.
It could just
I-
be some. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I say it could also be sometimes, and it might just be me, but I apparently say certain words weird than people that aren't fitting in the accent of where I'm from.
I came to the Mid-Atlantic and I had my younger brother made fun of me mercilessly the first time we saw each other after a long while had passed of me living around here. And because I came home saying, actually not home, I came home saying home and phone and birthday I skipped my TH entirely and went straight to birthday and strawberries.
And
None
the
of
stuff
those
that
were-
and that liquidy stuff that comes out of a faucet.
Well, that's
Water.
water, mate. But around here, it's
That's
water.
water.
It's water. my grandmom used to say both water and wash. So I come from all that, but I'd never said any of those words that way in my life. And so my little brother he was running with that forever. So my home and phone particularly, apparently I went down to Maryland and became home and phone. It's very mid-Atlantic, all of these, water, all of that.
Mine just are weird for no reason.
That does
Dang, I'm
happen.
Irish.
Yeah.
Because of the red hair.
Well, that's the only reason.
Nah, that's it.
I literally just kicked my coffee table real hard.
Oh dear.
Why?
Is it okay?
It's
Coffee
fine.
table.
It's fine. My wee pinky told me I'd never survive, but
But the coffee table's okay.
coffee table's fine.
All right.
So
Well, that's the
long as
important
that is.
thing.
You mates almost heard a lot of different accents real fast.
Did we almost lose our family
And
rating?
phrases.
Crazy. All right, choose your weapon.
Oh no.
All kinds of sharp things.
Four.
Right.
I'll choose sarcasm, thank you.
That's, you
To the death.
you never show up unarmed. I'll tell you that and be fair about it. You never show up unarmed to a sarcasm.
Got two of them. One on each side. I don't use them.
Ah!
Now, I've been asked, I have had people ask me if the accent that I'm using right now, if it's a real accent or if it's not.
It's
Because I
a
don't
real
know
accent.
if it's a real Scottish accent or if it's
It
not
is.
a Scottish accent, for real. And I tell them, can you understand the words that I'm saying? And they go, yes, I can understand every word you're saying. I said, well, that proves that it's not real. Because if it was a real Scottish accent, you wouldn't understand a single word I'm saying. That's how you can tell the difference between a real Scottish one and a fake one.
See, mates, we've been a good example to them.
I mean, if you're speaking in an accent, it's an accent. It's a real accent you're speaking in. It's real. It's an accent.
Or is it,
Don't understand
or
the
is it a
question.
dialect?
Oh, well, that's if you get real fancy.
Yeah,
Just,
I've been known to do that. Lying on the floor of the ship, I get decked out.
get it out.
That's how you end up on the deck anyway.
That
Get decked.
happens.
Lying on the deck. Everybody's lying.
Even the
You don't
lion
get
fish.
kicked out.
Sometimes
Just-
I get confused and tell the truth.
Right.
I hate it when that happens
You hate it.
because I can never remember it for later.
I've got a lot more explaining to do at that point.
True.
Cadagio, I do the same thing. When people ask, I can't place your accent. Where are you from? And I'm like, you got me. I'm from New Jersey. Obviously.
Hey.
Precisely. It's a New Jersey's a good melting pot of not just the American mid-Atlantic,
Mm-hmm.
which it really does. It'll mix the New York and the Maryland and everything in between, and that's what Jersey ends up with. And so there's a lot of different accents that make up that New Jersey accent.
I now think
remember
Governor
first-
Murphy, the melting pot has more pots.
That's also true. I can't actually refute that. So there you have it.
And that's the fun of it.
Now I'm doing work.
Why?
I don't know. I meant to do it before and didn't.
Apparently she's not impressed with our linguistic
I'm
skills.
impressed. I can just do more things than one at the same time. Cadagio! Marley has moved to the floor and is currently writhing in pleasure. It's a lot. There's a lot of this going on. And she's still not in a spot I can point the camera at, right? Or I'd show you. But there's a lot of like flailing, arched back, tossed back head and arms just rubbing the floor as much as possible.
See, that's when you know you've got good green, because then it's like, oh, the floor. It feels so good.
That's what I'm saying. The floor is always there for you.
It is.
And my cat.
And when you fall back on it, it's always has your back.
You do, you beautiful feline, you crazy, weird, beautiful feline.
Still say it's a
I mean,
brilliant Birkin.
I mean, she is a Flarkin.
Yeah.
That's not an incorrect assessment of Marley. It is known. So, all right, well, what is anybody doing anything good this week? Is there anything better going on for any of you this week than went on last week for anybody?
What week is it again?
It's March 526th. And March, I'm not going to say the year because that's just bleeding unlucky.
Yeah, don't do it.
So forget it. Forget I said anything.
Oh, aye.
Yeah. As Redleg said before, it's today, and there's going to be tomorrow.
Yep.
So we have to figure out what tomorrow looks like. And what are your tomorrows look like this week, mates?
If it stopped raining, I could skate.
Oh, aye. You've got wheeled boots.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
But it
still
keeps
terribly jealous. I'm gonna
raining.
come skate with you.
Should.
I'm gonna procure me some skates, and I'm gonna make it happen because I really want to.
Yes. Should do it.
According to the calendar, it's just been a full moon. And,
Oh,
it's,
aye.
and it's St. David's Day.
I heard that. I don't remember where, but at the last minute, like before we started, somebody posted something somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, hey."
Well, here's a bit of free advice.
Yes.
Never moon a werewolf.
That's worth everything I paid for that advice.
Yes.
It's worth everything we paid for this.
You should write that down so you can throw it away.
Okay.
That's like the advice you get from a fortune cookie. It's just good enough advice. It's just good enough fortune for you to read it and toss it.
Yes, exactly.
Unless it's real good, in which case it ends up on my refrigerator.
What?
My icebox is covered in delicious little phrases.
Does that mean you're going to put a full moon on it?
Ooh!
Oh, what?
Sorry, no, P.S. I like, you do you, Faye. I like using Faye as a beautiful gender-neutral plural word.
And species neutral.
Next week is the Online World Clown Association convention.
That
Yay.
sounds.
Which Mercy needs
Super
to know
intriguing.
immediately.
I need to be there.
I think you should.
By the way, I was thinking of
Why?
using thee and thou for gender neutral.
I think that's fun as well.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
harder to get
they're
used
already
in
out there.
dating.
Nobody's using them.
Well, using
Here
Faye-
she is, Miss America.
Look,
Oh,
it's
I
Calico
hear.
Cat.
It's Calico Cat and Cat's fancy pets. Hello, darling. You can't lick my phone. That's not allowed while you're high. It's not allowed at all, but... Oh, she'll try to eat me. This is not going to go well for yours truly. I'm going to be eating Pinky first. On days when she's really feeling her oats, she will lick me and I will try to get away and she will use all of her claws to grab on, pull me back and lick me more, which is rude.
Yes.
That's because she's tenderizing you for when she finally decides to eat you.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She's going to go Pinky first and just eat me.
I have an agreement with my cat. If I am ever dead and he needs food, he's allowed to eat me. I have no problem with that.
At that point, why not?
Yeah.
My sweet little catnipped up angel. As those who know her laugh and scoff in my face. My wee flirkin.
We have 10 minutes left. Should we recap our upcoming attractions?
I think absolutely. Starting with, everyone will be back here on Friday night as our Monday night Sunset Rummin. And our Friday night gaming on the deck are set in stone, and we like to do our chatting and our fraternizing and our history lessons, which today was brilliant. Thank you, everyone, and thank you for great questions, Kadajo, and great participation from our mates in the chat. And Friday night, we will get into doing a little Jackbox, or if we can finally put our minds together and might write some more cards, maybe some Cards Against Piracy. Kitty Rin came in on Saturday night and was asking about Cards Against Piracy.
We can write some cards. I still say we need to shuffle some cards because I wrote about 200 and we don't see them.
I know, and she counted them the one time. There's 120, but with 6 people playing, even if they shuffle badly, it goes through them pretty quickly.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But I think if we all put our heads together and came up with a few more, we could play that pretty successfully. But we love that. We love Jackbox gaming. That's the most fun. We always have a good time, particularly with the drawn games, because they get ridiculous real fast. Yeah. But come back here Friday night to join us with that, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And then, hey, Mercy, take it away. Your Saturday night. Would you like to tell us what you're doing? Because I kind of glossed over your idea, but I'd love to hear more from about the horse.
Well, I thought we would do some more painting, and I believe, if I've decided on it, that we'll probably be painting a parrot with some lovely landscape and palm trees behind.
I love the idea of getting a creature in this time. We had a ship in the last one, and the happy little palm trees.
Happy little palm trees.
That's kind of on brand for you. Is your happy little palm trees? Borrow a wee bit of Bob Ross, put in a wee bit of your own Mercy, and the pirates and the happy little palm trees. I love it.
Yeah, so
definitely come to the painting stream, Yuki. It's a good time, and Mercy's a good teacher.
Thanks.
She taught me how to paint, and all I had were pencils, colored pencils. My art came out pretty awfully well, so
it did.
But so that will be Saturday night, also 7 to 9. Yes.
Yes.
7 to 9 Eastern. Painting with Mercy. Come paint a parrot. It'll be grand. Then next week, the same Monday, Friday, but we're going to have on the 13th, it will hopefully be Devlin and I cooking some Irish soda bread in honor of St. Patrick's Day. I don't believe, Devlin, did you have anything to say about that? I don't, but...
I'll look through me logbooks and see if there's any other Irish recipes to add.
Good night, Yuki. We'll see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
That's a good idea. Because if we make the bread dough real fast and get it in the oven, we'll have nothing left to do. Turns out when you try to make cupcakes and it only takes 20 minutes, you need dueling cupcakes to make a show out of it. So we'll do some fun Irish themed stuff for you on the 13th for cooking with the crew. Then back to probably crafting, because as I've been told, but nothing more yet, it's a bit of a surprise. Coral, our mermaid, wants to do something. We've finally given her a time slot after repeatedly cutting in front of her. Coral's going to do some kind of fun stream and show you how the secrets of mermaids.
How to breathe underwater.
Yes, exactly. How to breathe underwater or something like that.
And explain that the tales of mermaids are all wrong.
Yes, and things. And Redlegs is going to have his own mermaid stream where he points out all the really nasty, gross facts about mermaids.
Yep.
Maybe someday.
That's what I would do, because there's things about mermaids are not sweet, cuddly. Oh, no. I love a mermaid. No, they're adorable. No, they're vicious creatures that eat pirates. Eat sailors.
So after Coral does her thing on the 20th, the last currently scheduled bit, you can always come up with something. If you want to see one of the crew doing something, there's a likely chance that one of us know how to do it or would learn how to do it. If you have a craft or a thing that you would like to do with pirates, I mean, we're always taking suggestions. Meanwhile, on the 27th, Shop Talk with Dakkar. And I'm super loving your new logo.
Thanks.
Really fancy. I can't wait to share it with you all. We'll get that up there soon.
Yeah.
So that you get prepared to make a haversack.
A good first canvas sewing project, something like that.
I love it.
Heavy needles.
Like
for
it.
that.
It depends on your. You could use a linen. That would be perfectly appropriate. Doesn't last quite as long. You can use any kind of fabric. Doesn't matter. Heavier the better.
Heavier the better, and the heavier the fabric you use, do consider thimble.
Yeah, or a pair of pliers will do the trick.
Or
Pliers,
silver
Yep.
No, I'm not speaking as somebody who just stabbed herself in the finger while stitching up a hole. So.
Yeah, if you have a palm, or if you don't have a palm, just a piece of leather. Kick that needle through there. If your
This
needle
here would
is
be a
sharp-
sailor's palm right here.
Well done.
Alright. See, and that's what you've got, whereas I come from stitching clothes more than sails and more than sailors' use of needles. So whereas that one goes on your palm as it's named, I have a almost an entire full leather finger. So instead of a little metal thimble, I have one that goes the entire length of the finger on a middle finger for when I'm stitching, because I push so hard with that finger to get needles through stiff fabrics.
They did a really good job. It looks natural.
Oh, this one here. Yeah. Well, I don't have it here.
Show him that finger nice and close. But not now, but later.
There it is. Really close. Really, really close. Really close. Also, that's pretty, don't you think?
Hey.
Well, this finger right here. That one right there.
This finger right here.
And don't forget, folks, to go over to our Facebook, our Face Space,
Yeah.
because we'll be doing our Pirates of the Month Club entry for March, which I believe is Women's History Month. So
What?
You better believe it.
What? Now you're going to tell me that there are actually women pirates.
Well, someone's going to tell you.
I mean, who would do? I mean, why on earth would you just say something like that's a bold-faced lie? There were never any women pirates.
I think we best set him straight. Perhaps you should keep
I think
an
you
eye
should
out
prove.
for Pirates of the Month
I
Club.
think what you need to do is prove me wrong.
Okay, it's a deal, mate.
I mean, and if it's just one, then that's a fluke. But if there's more than one,
There's more
or
than
two,
one.
There'd be more.
or 3, or 5,
well, then
I might start to believe that there were actually more than that women could be pirates.
well, I
When
guess
we sign off, I'm going in my imagination to where Cadagio is.
Yeah, I have no problem with that.
Imagining his 18th century pirates fighting fully armored knights, and the battle is amazing.
I'll take those odds. Load canister and fire point blank.
but
I just
also,
sounded like.
Or
I
chain.
just sounded a bit like Captain Kirk on that planet where he made a cannon out of bamboo.
Yeah.
bamboo with naturally occurring elements.
Everybody knows how strong bamboo is,
It's good enough for one shot,
apparently.
Aye.
but if not, it's a pipe bomb. It still works.
And you'll suffer no consequences
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Not if you send the powder monkey out to do it.
That's what they're there for.
And
Aye.
speaking of no consequences, Red Legs drinks will also be coming out this month.
I don't see why it wouldn't.
Why it wouldn't come out, or why there wouldn't be consequences?
Either way,
Either
Both
way,
is good.
both is good.
both is good.
All right.
As always, you can keep up to date on our Facebook, as the captain said. Please also subscribe to our YouTube. We're trying to get to that magical 100 subscribers so that we can have a real address, so we can be Fortune's Folly instead of. It's not my favorite word to say. It's
Talk
hard.
about speaking in tongues.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, and share. And, bring your friends. I love when Cadagio's lady wife shows up and watches with us, and we get to see her in the chat as well. So, everybody, come on now. Yes! Jean de Clisson! We're going to have Jean de Clisson on the Pirate of the Month Club, so come back and watch that.
Oh, the
There are
last
so
of the
many good
Brittany.
stories about lady pirates who are inspired to piracy and revenge. by the crap that one country or another did to them or their family or their spouse. It's just the things the women will do when smited. And the things a women will do.
I've got nothing else. I don't have anything else to say. I'm done.
All right, mates.
Well, good, because it's 8 o'clock, so that's fair enough. And look, no more hole.
Well done.
Yes, I thought so.
I think
Holy
our
cow.
founder will be very proud.
So, do we go visit Rock and Dock?
I think that's.
I had such a nice time I love that he streams at 9 p.m. on Saturday night. So as soon as we're done our crafting or our cooking or whatnot stream, we can go visit Rock and Dock and he will play us into the weekend, deep into the dark times. It's just a blast. So I think we should go there and see what he's doing tonight.
Do I need to
But
do that?
that's not our dock.
No.
I believe so, Dakkar.
I might be able to as a mod, but I'll tell you if I can or can't when I type it in here and you don't get a...
You will probably need to do it.
I don't have permission to perform that action, but if you copy what's in the Zoom chat, we can go right there together. We'll take you along with us to visit our friend Rock and Dock, who is playing music tonight. So,
And that will go
It'll be a blast.
into the chat?
into the chat on the Zoom is where you can copy it, because otherwise I don't know how to show it to you, because every time I type
Yes.
it disappears.
And it goes where?
In the chat.
Okay.
It's a command. We're gonna do our first official...
Hey,
Dakkar.
I did it.
Looks like it's
Hey.
working.
So in about 10 seconds, we're going to disappear. We're going to see our friend Rock and Dock. We'll see you all back here Friday night, mates.
Raise your glasses, mates.
Cheers.
Good night.